As far as I can tell, everyone has urinated. Everyone is intoxicated. Everybody is willing and ready to hear the jokes from your headliner for the evening. Ladies and gentlemen, lose your minds for Kev Ham!
No, let's calm the fuck down. I gotta tell you, okay. First off, this has been the weirdest fucking week in existence, yeah?
Yeah!
Yep. Normally, I do not get sick, but this last week I have been sick and I had a sinus infection that was causing two things that were weird. One, it put pressure on my eyeballs, which meant that my glasses, which I would like to point out because they're fucking cool, I didn't need them and could see without them, which I thought was a really interesting side effect of being sick. I'm like, the fuck, I can see through mucus. And then my head hurt and I went back to sleep. But the other thing that happened was like the entire world just decided, nah, fuck it, we're gonna shit the bed this week. We're gonna go over some of those. First off, a friend of mine who's a millennial just bought a business. Yeah, absolutely fucking applaud. She bought a crematorium. And I haven't talked to her about it because I just know what sort of an asshole I am. Because the first thought that came to my mind is, will you be taking walk-ins? Which, you know, it's a thing. But it's pretty amazing. I mean, it's pretty much a business that can never go under. You'll all get there shortly. There's that great moment with the pun where like 6 people in the back are going, I don't get it. It's okay, Jethro. You know, so that was really cool. I've been hosting a comedy competition in Bozeman, which has been really fun because I drive over to Bozeman and stay in a hotel that only costs $100 a night. Right, it's a fucking miracle. Like normally you make a fucking right at the 7th Avenue exit and they're like, give us $600. Just, you're coming into town, $600. It's a toll. Gianforte lives under this fucking bridge. We have to feed him. Oh good, the political humor is gonna hit. Yeah, oh. Sorry, I actually had to write down like things I wanted to talk about because Kaiser was like, hey, can you do 20 minutes? I'm like, off the top of my head after I've been sick? No. But I'll write shit down. And what did I write down? Like bullet points. Like I'd write a joke. Fuck off. Totally a professional. Okay. First thing I want to do right really quick is I want you to picture the 3 comedians tonight and then just vote in your head which one of us is actually gay. Is it Slabo the Clown? No. Is it Kaiser? And Eli's got some shiny, shiny pants. So, you know, cheers to that. I really enjoy being outgayed by the straight man. All I can say to that is, suck a dick. Are there any other gays in the room? I know of like 2. One girl, she's like, me, but I'm not a man. It's okay, honey, neither am I. Any other queers in the room? Yeah. How many straight men are in the room? I love it. This table, they're like, please don't pick on us. Oh, you're fucked. You're about to get fucked by a gay man, metaphorically. And your butt will hurt. Okay, so I have a question for the straight men in the room. And this went around TikTok a couple weeks ago. Do you all wash your butthole? It's a question for you. When you get in the shower, do you take a washcloth, get soap on it, and then at some point past your butthole to clean it? Do you polish your pooper? You can't just sit there and look like you're terrified of this. Just say no if you don't. Because here's the thing. I'll ask several of the other men. Do you?
Yes.
Or do you do the thing that most straight men do, which is apparently I have a bar of soap, I wash my tits because I can touch them. I sometimes do a little bit of the side beard in my neck. I do my pits, I do my bits, maybe a little in my leg and this part of my back. And hopefully the soap just drips down the crack. To clean it? Is that what you people do? Notice these three poor boys. The look on their face says, we can't tell you the truth, but yes, that is exactly what we've done. And we learned that, I suspect they learned it in high school, because in high school you have communal showers. Remember how terrible those were? For all those people that peaked in high school, fuck you, the showers were a nightmare. And here I am, closeted fat gay boy. Oh, let's watch the football team after practice. I can tell you right now, that's where I discovered I have a fetish for gingers. But turns out it was because I watched him wash his butthole. All you people with brown and blonde hair. I don't know what you're hiding down there, but don't keep it. What's wrong with you? Like, and I just don't understand it, because you all like to get laid, right? Like, I mean, fair enough, there are some asexual people who are like, no, not really my thing. These three, that's not their problem. I mean, they'd hope to get laid tonight, but you came to a comedy show, you're being ridiculed. It's okay. Later on at the bar, someone will take pity on you. Not me. So yeah, I'm just curious about that, because I would think that if you want to have something played with, and maybe that's why they don't, they're like, oh, you shouldn't play with my butthole. I will tell you this, inside the butthole of a man is a button that, when pressed, causes a moment of unicorns and happiness to explode forth from you in a way you've never experienced before. So I'm going to give you this piece of advice as a gay man who spends a lot of time in a butthole. Wash it, try it, enjoy it. Your life will be better for it. That's also my advice to the Republicans. They cry a little bit every time I tell them that. Speaking of Republicans, so we had the election last week, right? Everybody voted, and you voted right? Voted correct, I mean. Ooh. Anybody in this room didn't vote? There's a window. I can spell defenestrate. It's Y-E-E-T. I love there's some people in the back going, don't call on me, I didn't fucking vote. So we had a bunch of Republicans that were elected. The new president of, or is the president of the Senate or Speaker of the House? I think he's the Speaker of the House. I don't know. I don't like him and I fucking don't care. But the reason that he got elected by the caucus was there's 2 trans members of the House this year. Because Montana actually got its act together and elected 2, a trans woman and a non-binary person. And they are amazing people. And the way this asshole got elected speaker was that I will protect the bathrooms, is what he said. I would like to point out, this man is 5'6" and weighs a buck. I am 6 foot, 400 pounds, and angry. I haven't seen his birth certificate or his genitalia, and I'll be guarding that bathroom and making it really uncomfortable for him, because I think he looks a little girly. And that's how we're going to prove to them that they really don't want to get into the discussion of what's in anybody else's pants. Right? And that's all I'm going to say about that, because fuck them. The session is coming up. We'll have plenty of fun jokes about all the stupid shit that they're trying to pull. Well, I got one other one. We voted down LR 131 by 64% of the state went We don't fucking want this. The first thing one of them did when she got elected was file to put the bill in again. Pumpkin, I understand that your God hates people and you've never gotten laid. And that you're probably one of those people who got armpit crabs at one of the BYU campuses. So you don't even know how to get laid. But this is not the bill you should be putting in. Anyway. Right? I'm taking a moment to look up what's going on. Oh! I'm sorry, what?
Kate was not raised in purity culture, so she's never heard of armpit crabs.
Oh, do you not know the story? Should I tell everybody the story? Okay, so we gotta back up like 8 months because all of a sudden there was this thing that was going on, and I'm not exactly sure what it's called because I'm bad with words, I've been sick, whatever. But what it was is the Mormons decided, well, if you're not actively pumping, you're not having sex. So if a man, or in this case an idiot, with a hard-on, lays on top of another idiot with a vagina, and somebody gets on the edge of their cheap-ass spring mattress and bounces up and down for them, they can generate sex-like acts without actually having sex. Right? No, you can't. That's a good way to break your dick. That's all that's going to happen for that. You're going to bounce inappropriately at some point. You're going to stab right into the left part of her thigh, and your dick is going to bend in half, and they're going to take you to the ER, and you're going to have an explanation for your parents that they are not going to get. Don't do that. And so, something like that must have happened a couple of times, because then they moved on to, well, what if I just put my dick in her armpit? Did you wash? And the answer is no. The answer is no, because they got armpit crabs, which are just the same as any other pubic crab, but in your armpit, because you're a fucking moron who doesn't know how to get laid. No, I was bored. Why don't you just fuck my armpit? Like I saw the thing about the gays, we're doing gay stuff. Armpit, follow me. That must be what happens. Okay, Elizabeth. Stupid people. And they're in college. And they're voting. Right? And they're apparently driving a Subaru. That's the greatest. I don't even wear a belt. This is why. One of my favorite things in the world today was that Elizabeth Holmes was convicted and sentenced. She was sentenced to 11 and a half years. Let's all be quite clear of what she was sentenced for. It wasn't for mail fraud. It wasn't for anything that we could do. It was for stealing money from billionaires. But the best part of it is, this was a woman who decided that she was going to model herself after Steve Jobs. So she wore black turtlenecks and then talked lower. Her normal voice was sort of the typical millennial, like, oh my God. But then she became Elizabeth Holmes of Cyrano's and started talking like this. And stole billions of dollars. But the technology, here's the thing, the technology that she had was really cool. Like the idea of, we're gonna take a drop of blood and find out exactly what's wrong with you. Okay, Dracula. I'm pretty sure that's not how it's gonna work. You're gonna have to take more. But even if you could just take like one vial of blood and be like, all right, we found all these things that are wrong with you, that would be a major advance in medical science. That would be a great thing. That is something we should be working for. But don't do it with some idiot who's like, no, I'm totally calm and normal. If somebody were to come up to me and go, I'm trying to invent something and I would like $1 billion so that I can make scientists take one drop of blood and find out everything that's wrong with you, I'd be all, you first. What is going on with your face? I mean, it's a thing. But this week has been really busy because there was that, medical science. And then Get this, Grey's Anatomy is ending. Apparently this is news to some of you people. Take a moment to grieve. I was shocked to hear it was still on because I never watched it, but what cracks me up about it is that it was on for 19 years. 19 years. There were people that voted in this last election that were born after the show started. They have never lived in a world where bullshit medical science could be about crying every 32 minutes in an hour. I think that's amazing, and it says something about our culture. It's not good. It is really not good. But then I think about the fact that Simpsons is on like season 60? Something? I'm like, fucking hell, what did Bart burn down this week? Turns out the Kremlin. Actually, I don't think Bart actually needs to do that because have you seen what Putin's doing? Like, oh. Did I miss something?
He's just gross. I don't like him.
Is that how you did your reports in high school? For those of you that don't know, I first met Mariah literally 15 years ago, 16 years ago, when she was in high school and I was volunteering because I just moved back. And I met her in drama class. Shocking, I know. And she was one of the children where I turned to Calvert, the teacher, and I went, "Is meth use up?" And she said, amazingly enough, "No. That's just a Tuesday." Okay. Yeah, no, Putin going to war. Hey, we're going to take over Ukraine. It'll take us 60 days. All right, Pooty Poot. Let's see how that goes for you. We're going to give some of it back. What? I don't remember that happening even in World War II. How does this? I don't know how this script ends. I don't know where this is going. And the scary part is, neither does anyone else. No, everybody's, and this last week when we had missiles that landed, well, they're not Hittles. They landed in Poland and killed 2 people. I'm like, okay, little disturbing. But then I realized I am Gen X. I lived through everything. You remember we had a train that separated up at the pass and then rolled back into town and blew up? So I lived in Cloverview at the time, which is right on the other side of the golf course from Cal College's campus. Had the burst go the other direction, I would have leveled my house. As it was, a couple of things you need to know. 1, I had a waterbed, because it was the 80s. 2, it was 5 in the fucking morning, and I'm still not a morning person. So there was a really solid chance I had gotten to bed like maybe an hour and a half before this fucking thing went down. That explosion went off, kaboom, and it was so loud, and it was bright. Like the light was visible through my room. And I remember the waterbed going, shoo, and me going, woo. And I didn't land gracefully. We had to repair part of the wall. What happened here? My ass is what happened here. The first thought that went through my head was, the Russians are invading, and the second thought that went through my head was, I've washed my butthole, I could get laid. So, good times. But that was the thing, when the missiles landed in Poland, I was like, we've already gone through this. Gen X, we got this. The millennials, you're like, no, World War III wasn't an option for us. I'm like, oh, sweet summer child. They've always had the missiles. They just didn't threaten to use them. I'm guessing because they lost the codes. Like, the USSR collapsed and they're like, we are now Russia. What are the codes? Sven has them. Sven is not Russia! And I think that's why, I'm not really that worried about it. Let's see what else happened. Oh, 2 things. Y'all remember Corey Stapleton? So Corey Stapleton was a legislator and then became Secretary of State for 1 term and then tried to run for the Senate. And then he filed and refiled today to run for president. Corey Stapleton is 5'2". Corey Stapleton has an IQ of 4.
You're as big as you feel.
So is he. And I feel he's about this big and I've had it up to here with him. And that is only slightly more ridiculous than what Ticketmaster did to the Swifties this week. I've got to tell you. Now, Kate, this is not about you. But Ticketmaster, like, literally said, hey, we're going to become, part of Live Nation, we're going to become the largest monopoly that's allowed to exist in the world, and we're going to do everything live. We're going to own every venue, and it's going to be awesome. We are going to be able to make so much money off of these fans. We're going to rape and pillage like the pirates of yore. And they turned around and they took out what I can only imagine was the largest of machine guns and aimed it right at their groin and said, Taylor Swift fans, pull the trigger. And then, after the gunfire stopped, they looked around and realized, oh fuck, we might be doomed. Because over the hill, or over the ways, I don't know, it's a metaphor, fuck it. The Biden administration leaned out and went, we had 8 million people sign up to get the goddamn money that the GOP is blocking for their fucking student loans. We didn't crash. What the fuck is your problem? We're going to investigate that you are probably too big to exist, and we're going to have to break you up. And you know Taylor Swift is sitting at home going, Beyonce, this one's for you. That's my time. Thanks for coming to the show. Kaiser, come back up.
That light was weird. Yeah!